Welcome. Welcome to this week's BTO talk on generative AI and more. It is a special talk. Funny story, we did actually this week a live from Doha at the Web Summit, but somehow technology was against us. So we were not able to send when we were together, but we have here the proof that we went actually to Doha. My name is Michael Elf, one of the founding partners of Beyond the Obvious, and I'm here with my two co-founders. Over to you, Markus.
Yeah, thank you very much, Michael. Yes, here this is the authentic T-shirt from the Web Summit. Very energetic summit, I have to say. I'm back in Singapore, where I teach at the National University of Singapore, and where we help companies around the region to get started with GenAI. Over to London, where it's not as hot anymore as it used to be 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah, well, even yesterday. So yeah, Rob Thurner, the third partner with Beyond the Obvious, straight back from this amazing event. My show is the app, the event app, which was super easy to use and a great way to navigate our way through an amazing agenda. So I'm working with Cambridge Judge Business School and with clients across the GCC in particular. So it was really interesting, this one. If I can just kick off and set a bit of context about the region, and I'll hand then back to Markus to talk a bit more about the content. So no real surprise to see this event in Doha. We see that technology and AI is a great opportunity for the GCC region to reposition itself as a global center in this AI explosion that we're seeing. And it's not just the events. So sure, we saw this one, the summit, the Web Summit. We see Leap and Gain, two huge events that Saudi is hosting. And these are consistent with strategically the 2030 vision in KSA, which aligns the whole kingdom behind this shift away from oil and gas to knowledge and technology, and a 2040 vision in Qatar. So it's a similar strategic goals. And what's really impressive when you get down and you start to meet some of the players here is the clear alignment between the investment, the knowledge hubs and the knowledge centers and universities, and the development community, all coming together and building some truly world-class learning, but itself becoming a great magnet to bring talent from around the world. And this event was incredible. If you look at the range of guest speakers, the startups, those seeking investment from a whole load of different industries and sectors, education one, but of course there was healthcare, we saw mobility, we saw so many other sectors all looking to capitalize on the AI opportunity. And in a place where 70% of the population are under 40 years of age, of course, there's no real need to explain how to use a lot of this technology. There's such a high level of embedded tech savviness by the group. So there was a huge amount of energy there. We're seeing some great advances already in terms of the infrastructure, which is supporting enterprises in the region and the global businesses that assembled in the region for that very reason. So Markus, exec education and the education vertical, which of course we're focusing on, very prominent there. Do you want to unpack this a little bit more and tell us what else you found there?
Yeah, absolutely, Rob. And you're right. The energy of these over 20,000 people in the room and on the site was invigorating. The three of us certainly believe that we know a little bit about GenAI, but I think we all three were blown away by the number of solutions, use cases, and verticals. Michael, we'll talk about the tech in a moment. Let me elaborate a little bit about the executive or the education sector. Just imagine that there are people from all kinds of the world, literally from Africa, from the Middle East, from Europe, from the US, and from India and Asia Pacific, coming together thinking about how education could benefit from GenAI. And they have ideas starting from kindergarten to primary school, secondary school, universities, and then it goes into management and executive management. Now, the first news I want to share with you is every part of this journey is getting covered by GenAI. So if you are still believing that Gen AI might be something for the future, I just have one question for you. Are you using the internet? Or are you still believing the internet is not for you? Well, obviously you are on the internet right now. So you have to be in Gen AI, because if the education sector, which is not one of the fastest moving ones, is moving fast, think about your part. And Michael will cover some of the technologies. We see supply chain management, manufacturing, fintech, banking, space, anything you can think of, people are using Gen AI for. In executive education, we basically started to hit the floor with our vision, saying we become the EA Sports for hyper-personalized education in the future, in particular for adults. That went down really well because everyone on the floor has punchlines, and our punchline was well received because we are literally attacking the whole area of how adults learn. And our simulation is one part of that. We will share over the next couple of months what else we will do there, because we got very, very inspired by all of these solutions there as well. What I can share with you is that it's a very, very transparent community. People are working and talking with each other. There's no holding back. There's a lot about how can we collaborate across countries, across regions, across you have money, I don't have money, whatever. It is really, really a fantastic playground to be in, and we are very excited. So, Michael, what excited you at the Web Summit in Doha?
Yeah, thank you, Rob and Markus. Fascinating facets and perspectives, on what we took away. And I want to build a little bit on two things, briefly the technology, and then briefly also the comparison to the mothership of Web Summits here in Lisbon. So I'm back now in Lisbon again, and both I think it's interesting for you as an audience also to consider where you might want to go and what you want to test out. On the technology side, look, what we've seen is, as Rob and Markus already kind of said, there is a lot happening, a lot of innovation, collaboration. Of course, AI and generative AI are across the board in most of the solutions and applications. And you see this kind of this mushrooming, of ideas and solutions out there, very creative. And so that's exciting because it kind of changes industries, it changes things a lot. And everyone works on kind of, what is possible with generative AI. So therefore, the number of use cases is going up. Of course, as we know, kind of startups have a low probability of survival. But overall, as a mushroom, it brings new innovation and new solutions to the surface. And that's great. Because it makes for a very positive and inspiring future in each of these sectors. And I think that's also the great opportunity of that region, as Rob said. So there is so much going on in this region, and it's not only the simple statement, yes, there's money and there's cash. That is true, of course, but it's only half of the truth. There is you see kind of how young the people are and how open they are to new technology, and it's an opportunity for them to actually leave the mark, so that this region is not only a transport hub, so you have 3 major airports there, you have a logistics hub there, you have a tourist destination, so they're building several streams. So back to kind of the technology. So we've seen a lot of innovation, of course, GenAI focused. This was really the key theme, in addition to a couple of other ideas. There's some physical stuff, some sensor technology, which was really, really powerful. One of the 3 who've made it to the finish line in the pitching was actually one which is basically a kind of Google Maps for temperatures. And they had a very interesting concept. So you have said very interesting concepts there as well. Then let's have a look at the comparison to Lisbon. Very interesting. I've been at Lisbon Web Summit now, I think 4 times in the last couple of years. This is the starting point, the mothership, if you like, of Web Summits. This is where everything started. And when we look at the Web Summit concept, I think it's genius. What the founder, Paddy Cosgrove, basically did is almost picking strategically cities which are, I would call, tier 2. So not the obvious ones like London, like Berlin, like Paris, but Lisbon, which was at the time not on the map as much as the other cities. So, and the same applies for the region. Doha is certainly an interesting city, but it's clearly tier 2 towards compared to Dubai and even Abu Dhabi, so the others, and Riyadh as well. So we have this kind of tier 2 element in there. The same for Vancouver. So it's Vancouver and not Seattle or LA, as an example. It's Rio. You could see Rio is somewhere in between, but kind of you see kind of the strategy here. In terms of size, incredible growth. That's the second event in Doha, and we had more than about 20,000 people. That actually is quite a lot already compared to Lisbon. Lisbon has more than 75,000. Also expected almost 80,000 probably end of this year. The buzz and the size, Lisbon is about 5 or 6 times the size of kind of exhibitors and halls. It's crazy. It takes you 20 minutes from one end to the other end. So if you think, this is an interesting stage, then you have to walk actually 20 minutes. In Doha, it was beautiful, everything in the one roof. And if you said, I want to go from stage 3 to 5 or to 6, well, it's 2 minutes walk and you are there. So you can switch within presentations, even the stages, if you want, if you like that. And of course, a lot was very similar. The structure, the setup, the large number of startups, relative, of course, to the size, the whole setup, highly professionally organized, as Rob said, with the app. So really well done. The whole setup, how it works, you see that they are very, very experienced. So if you consider going somewhere, think about, Lisbon is interesting and massive. And I think Doha is a really interesting alternative. So I would say that it's an interesting time of the year. So in terms of kind of temperatures, of course, well, it was too cold one evening, but that's another topic. And it's an interesting region where you can combine that maybe with a trip to Dubai or Abu Dhabi, and have that if that region interests you and you want to go more. So that's kind of how I wrap that up. Maybe back to Rob to close the loop and give us some final thoughts and words.
Yeah, wow. Anyone would have thought you were working for the Qatar Tourist Authority there, Michael. Clearly the World Cup really put Qatar on the map. But yes, I agree with your points. There's a lot going on there. It was very well organized, this event, and getting out to these sorts of events is a great way to see the huge range of ideas and startups, which, as you say, are so open. So I think from our point of view, we've taken a lot of confidence from what we've seen there, and also what we've not seen. This simulation concept we've been working on, it really helps to validate that thinking, and we're very much committed now to rolling that out and taking that to the next stage of development. So I think this open mindset is the big thing that I took out. And to Markus's point, a real eagerness to collaborate and share. And so we're super excited to be in this space. And there's so much we'd be very happy to share with you about what we've learned along the journey. Markus, anything to add and to finish up from your side?
Yeah, it is. Thanks, guys. If I wrap it up, it's if you still believe GenAI is something for the future, it's happening now, big time. The investors lined up to spend millions and millions of dollars just in trying to find the golden nugget of the future. They were all there, from US, from Asia, from the Middle East, from Europe. They were all there. There was a whole section of VCs and it was full. So why are they there? Because the ideas they want to identify for the future are needed, and people will pay for it. Really, all verticals from hospitality to agriculture to satellites to of course fintech, ML, AI, optimization of the supply chain, sales, marketing. Did I mention marketing before? I didn't. Of course, I have to mention marketing big time. And then, of course, education and healthcare and pharma and microscopic analysis. Everything is happening. So regardless in what field you are, whether in FM, if you're in fast moving consumer goods or B2B or business to government, it's happening. It's real. With this final word from Michael, is it happening?
It is happening, and there's much more to come from us. As Rob already said, exciting things which we are going to share in the future. Join our newsletter. You see the QR code and the link here, community.beyondtheobvious.co/newsletter, or the QR code. And there you get the latest information on a regular basis. See you next week at the same time, and have a great time. Thank you.
Bye for now. Thanks for joining us.